guys, we're going to talk about the frog system today. It's a little bit more complicated than the Texas, and it's a little bit more specialized as well. By specialized, I mean we can't just pop two handle descenders on and off we go like you can in the Texas. That's about all it requires. Some of the gear is kind of strange looking if you hadn't seen it before. So let me go through some of the frog configurations, and this is what I actually climb on. This is my frog setup. You don't have to have a two-handle descender. You don't have to have this specific device. You can see we've got foot loops. They're a little bit longer than the Texas foot loops. I have the very same Blake's hitch type adjustable tether that I used in the Texas. So let's take a look at some of these components. Number one, if you look at this harness, this is a frog system harness. This one's made by On Rope 1, and that's where I got it. And one of the things that you have to notice right off is how low the tie-in point is. On arborist saddles and recreational tree climbing saddles, that tie-in point's kind of up here. What that's for, that low tie-in point, is to let you get a long stroke so you can really rock this thing and make a lot of progress in one stroke. A frog is a little bit more complicated, as I said, and a little bit more specialized, but with that you gain some mobility and some efficiency. So I'll be talking about all that as well. Alright, number one I think on the agenda is to look at the difference in the ascenders. Now our upper ascender in this case is going to be the one that has the foot loops on it. In the Texas it was the lower ascender, and we saw we could use two-handled ascenders if we wanted to. In a frog system you can't. You have to use something like this. Let me move up a little bit so you can see that better. This is a Petzl Kroll. ABC makes a similar system. They're very small, so when they attach they're down very low and you get that stroke advantage with that. I will not be using this screw link. I'll get to that in just a minute. In fact, I'm going there now. One of the things about a ascender used in a frog system is that, and this is important, it is designed to go directly onto the ring. So if we were going to install this, we'd take this screw link loose, take it loose from one of the loops, slide this on, thread it back through and tighten it up, and this would sit right there. Now there's a reason for that. If you look at how this is shaped, I don't know how well you can see that, it is designed, and I'm just going to use a screw link to show you how this works, to sit on a harness with a tie-in point oriented like this. And you can see the D-ring is oriented this way. That's the way this thing is designed to work. Now, where we make a mistake sometimes is we think, well, I don't want to go to all that trouble. I want to be able to get that thing off. So we stick a carabiner in there or a screw link, and now we've got it connected like this. That's not good, because when you get some weight on this thing, it's going to cause it to turn out this way. What happens when it does that, the rope is running through here, and it's running against that cam. We've got this thing now sitting at a 90-degree angle because there's nothing to fight that torque. So when this is on a D, directly on a D, just as if I'm holding a D in my hand, although it's a screw link, notice this thing can't twist like that. And this is designed to keep that from twisting and getting this way on you. It may get this way a little, but that's okay. That's not so bad. This way, that's not fun at all. You just lose all sense of comfort and confidence you can have. So, if you're going to put one of these things on your harness, it needs to go on the tie-in point. Now, you can't always do that. You might think, let's use two screw links, and that'll give us the orientation again we need. But it also gives you a lot of flex. You've got a probably 45-degree flex in the screw link and a little bit more here, so it can still do that. It is important that it goes directly onto this, whether it's a new tribe recreational tree climbing harness, even a rope harness. I'm going to show you that next. I'll show you how I deal with that on my rope bridge harness. This is a Cougar harness, and it has a rope. This is one I've replaced the original on, and I want to put this right here. Well, obviously I'm not going to untie knots to slide this thing on and tie knots back into it. It would be tempting to just put a screw link on here and do that, but guess what? You've lost your orientation if you do that. So what I did to make this work and give it the proper orientation, I got one of these small SMC rings. You can see how small that is. And I put this in here, and I put this in here. And what we now have, if I can get all this strap out of the way, this can't really twist a lot because this takes up so much room. There's no flex in there for it to twist. It's very small, so it can't twist on the rope very much. And that leaves me with the type of orientation on my chest ascender, or harness ascender if you want to call it that, that I need. And I've climbed with it like this, and it's as smooth as it can be, and this thing lays right up against your chest. So it's important to realize if you attach one of these things, orientation is important, if not critical. All right, let's look at how we advance this thing, because that's important too. I have a small strap. It's got a connector right here. You just press apart. That goes around my neck. It's a neck strap. I'm going to put my harness down so I can use both hands. So I'm tied into my saddle. This goes over my head like so, and I can adjust that right here, and this works really well. There's a trick here too. This one that's on the outside, not against me but out away from me, wants to go over my right shoulder. See? Wants to go over my right shoulder. So when I pull that, you see what it's doing? It's trying to twist it this way. If you get this backwards so that the outside one is over your left shoulder, when you pull it, what happens? It twists it outward. Now, if it's tied in good and solid down here, it's not going anywhere, but why have two things fighting each other? Just remember, just about pull my mic off. That outside strap goes over your right shoulder. So when you get on rope and get this loaded, you'll find your neck strap has slack in it, and you can just tighten it up. This neck strap auto advances this thing, and this is not the only way to do it. I'm going to show you another way now.